working on a video for this little beast this last little while. I've been doing a lot of filming of the different aspects of this. So there will be a video coming out on this. They didn't want me to do a live unboxing and show off of this thing, but that's okay. And I'm sure it's fine if I'm on my live stream with it, because I'm not really going to talk about it much. So Steve is still live. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, there's no competing with Steve. So, and he's usually done by now. He must have started late today, unless he's going to start streaming live into Sunday evenings. So, but that's good. So I just came on just to say, Maria said, just go live. And I said, I haven't, just go live. People want to see you. And I said, okay, well, we'll see how many people pop in. And yeah, so I'm just on and just going to talk about what's going on. And I mean, we were working on the Trident here, and I finally got my beacon probe. I got my beacon probe in for the Trident. Oh, they have a new sticker. I just noticed it's a bacon. It's a picture of a piece of bacon on their sticker. I've got the beacon probe in, and I've got now I can pretty much finish off the Trident now, and then I've got to work on the zeros. I got to do a tri-zero. I got a few things to do. This printer is actually called, the company, I don't know how to pronounce the company name, but it is spelled S-C-E-O-A-N. So I'm going to say Skeon. I'm going to assume the C is silent, and I'm going to call it Soen. Anyways, it's called the Wind. Excuse me. It is called. I have to look at the box because I never remember the name. It's called the Windstorm S1. Windstorm S1. It is a excuse me, I got a cough here for a minute. Hang on. Look, I still have a bit of the cough left over from the pneumonia. So it is a prototype printer. It's not a release model. It's not a Kickstarter. This is an actual prototype. I think there's only a handful of them out there. It's a new company. It's an impressive printer visually. There needs to be some work done on the print quality, and there needs to be some work done in the hot end, which I will be discussing in the video. But I'm impressed with the fact that you see 0 wires other than the plug when you plug it in. And yeah, I'm impressed with the look of this thing. And I'm kind of happy with the potential this thing has. It's a new company. It's sort of like, it's not your typical bed slinger. It's a little different the way it's designed. Hey, Red Light, how are you, sir? And James L, hello. This is just an impromptu. Let's just go on and say hi and let you guys know what's been happening, and that I'm officially back next week. I've been spending a lot of time on this thing. There will be a video coming out of this by next weekend. I'm going to take the day Wednesday to edit everything that I've shot on it so far. So I'm just going to plug it in. I'm going to run another print while we're talking. So yeah, it's a, and you can watch the video to see all about it, but it's a prototype. It's not a released printer. It's a prototype. It's a new company. They've got big shoes to fill when it comes to companies like Bamboo. Is there room for another 3D printer company? I don't know. We'll see. I've done some test prints. We'll be going over these test prints in the video when I release it. You'll see some pluses and minuses. You know, is it perfect? No, because it is a prototype. So. David Wilson, Happy New Year. Hello. I did get your package too, David Wilson. Thank you so much. So, yeah. Generic Chinese bed flinger, number 987,561. Yeah, this is, I got to say, though, this is a different style bed flinger. I've not seen a printer that shows 0 wire. Okay, other than the plug that plugs it in, you cannot see a wire. There's no wires, nothing for the bed. It's an interesting way that they've designed the base here, etc. But again, that's all going to come out in the video. And in the meantime, I'm going to just start a little bit of a print. We're just going to chat a little bit. Anybody has any questions? As I say, we're going to get kicking off on the Trident again next week. Now that I have the beacon probe in for it. I believe that's all the parts I was waiting for, and that I need to get the Trident finished and going so I can finish all the wiring up to the hot end now. And then, yeah, we can get that thing fired up and get that out of the way. Yeah, and then eventually I want to sort of clean this whole counter off and start using my printers. I mean, they're not being used as much as I'd like to get them being used. And I also want to start using my laser a bit more. So do you have the rat rig running? I don't yet, David. I've got to switch the hot ends on it. I'm not. I try to print on it. Here, let me just go grab the latest print, and I'll show you what's happened with it. I actually had to farm out a job to a company in Edmonton to do for me because the rat rig is just not performing. Here, I'll just pull the whole bed off for now. I was trying to print a simple 12-inch by 18-inch frame, and I'm not getting I'm getting crap off of this thing, basically. So you'll be able to see on the camera what's going on in this thing. I mean, that's sort of what I'm getting on the rat rig right now. I don't know what's happening with it. I don't know what's going on with it, but all I know is it's not working the way I know it can work. I mean, that's just pure and utter garbage from it. So yeah, and I'm not blaming the hot end. It's likely me. The issue is most likely me in the setup. But all I know is that when I had the Mosquito hot end on it, I was not having any issues at all. This has got the Rapido high flow on it, and it's just, I'm not having any luck with it. It's not extruding properly. It's been calibrated, etc. But just not having any luck with that hot end. Andrew Humphrey, hey, time. Dirk Chlamydius, good evening. Andrew, I got your email and you inspired me to just come on and just talk and chat. So yeah, you did. It's because of you. And if I cough, forgive me. I'm still recovering a little bit from my illness. So yeah. So you guys that are on, all 11 of you, I'll fire this up. What extruder on the rat rig? I am running the I never remember the name of that extruder. David knows. Oh, what's that extruder called? It's the steampunk looking one. It's my first time using it, and I'm just not. David, what's the name of that extruder? Come on, David. Apis. There we go. It's the Apis extruder from Fadius, and it's the Rapido hot end. But I have the original Mosquito hot end that I put on it, and I think I'm going to change the hot end. The extruder should be fine. It's extruding 100 millimeters when it says it's extruding 100 millimeters. So I don't know. I don't know what the main issue is. Okay, David, for sure. Appreciate that. Which printer is this? This one I'm not talking about a lot. This is a printer called a Windstorm S1. It's a prototype printer from a new company. And this new company is going to be releasing more than just this printer, but this is actually a prototype. It is very impressive if I can get it working good. I'm quite impressed with it. I'm going to fire up a print on it anyways right now, but I have shot a whole bunch of footage from it, and I'm going to be editing that video this week and putting out a video on this. So you get to see insides of the printer, you'll get to see the inside, the hot end. You'll get to learn about the printer, how it assembles, etc., and what it's all about when my video comes out. So you guys, yes, we'll see you soon, David. Try the XG extruder. Okay. Or is that a XG hot end? But you guys will get to see all the fun stuff on this thing when the video comes out and what it's all about. It's a pretty cool little machine, actually. It's the most what's the word I'm looking for? It's the sleekest looking printer I've ever seen because there's no wires to be seen, right? So it's pretty cool. hang on a sec. Excuse me. So I'm going to fire up a print just because. But first thing I'm going to do is load some filament in it. So let's just load some filament and fire up a print when you guys are here. Doop, doop, doop. So there will be a video, as I say, coming out within the next week on this. And we'll just throw the filament in there. And I'll just go to the menu here. Here, I'll give you a sneak peek of the menu just because. Show you how intuitive this, or just give you an idea of what this thing is doing. I'm going to turn this camera down. And let me go ahead and position this. Studio mode. Studio mode's cool because I can go ahead and switch to this camera on here. And then let's pick the. So we're on this camera here, and then we're going to lower this. There we go. You can do magic. I'll just move this over a little bit. And we'll zoom in a little bit more. I think that's probably okay right there. Go orbiter with a Rapido. That's what you have on your 400 rat rig, no issues. Orbiter. Do I have an orbiter extruder here? You know what, Steve, I might even have an orbiter. Let me just have a peek here. I got lots of spare parts. I do. Oh. Look what I got sitting on the shelf. I have an orbiter. I have an orbiter sitting on the shelf. This is an orbiter V2. So maybe I'll try that because I do have the Rapido on there. The high flow Rapido. Maybe, I don't know. I guess that's the beauty is I can try the combinations until it works. Right? So yeah, maybe we'll try that out. So we'll just keep that out and handy right up here. Good call. I dropped my little LED light today. It won't turn on now. Oh, it is turning on. Oh no, it just flashed. I think I broke it somehow. Oh, there it is. It's working. It wouldn't work earlier. Oh, I think I might have done something in the switch. That's why. Okay, good. Now it's not working. Yeah, I got to take it apart and see. It fell, and I think I damaged my switch. There we go. Okay, that's better. Now it's working, and it wasn't working before. Okay, let's pop it off for now. So what I was going to show you guys the screen on this thing. Let's go down a little lower here. The default rat rig uses the orbiter. Okay, well, maybe I'll do that. I have it, so why not, right? Why not use it if I have it? Let's switch over to this guy. So I haven't really, fully played with all the menu items on this yet because there's a lot, and there's some functions that are not there's some items on here that are currently non-functional. I think, as I say, because it is a prototype machine. But I can go in here and we'll go to the main menu, and I can go basically here, and I can load filament. We'll just show you through the menu things here a bit. We have our fans, we have our terminal. I'm not sure what the terminal's for. Looks like we can enter stuff and send stuff directly into the EEPROM for whatever reason. Oops, let's go back. There we have our movement menu, right? Our standard home. And then we have extrude. We can disarm all, which means unlock the steppers. We can do bed leveling, so it does automatic leveling. Matter of fact, we'll do that before we load the filament. We'll heat it up and do a bed level. And then we have a thing called Z fade, which is interesting, where we can level the bed, I suppose, more precisely using a Z fade command or whatever. So again, there's no instruction manual that came with this thing, so I am just sort of winging it with no instruction manual whatsoever. But on a prototype, you normally don't get a finished instruction manual, so it's pretty interesting. So we have a probe offset here, but we don't actually have a BL touch probe, we have what I believe is a induction type probe here for the leveling. It almost looks like the nozzle hits the bed, but it doesn't. There's almost like a little induction probe in here, but when you see the video, I will show that as well. And then we have, let's go back here to settings. We can adjust our screen. That's kind of broken, so I'm not going to get into there again. We have machine settings. So if we go deeper into the machine settings, there we can adjust our steps per millimeter, our filament diameter. We are set to 1.75 just to make sure. We can adjust our maximum acceleration. Right now we're set at 10,000 on X and Y and 500 on Z. We can adjust our feed rate. Okay, we can adjust our overall acceleration, print acceleration, retract and travel acceleration. And then we can do PID tuning. I haven't PID tuned this thing, and I think I need to actually. Actually, let's do that while we're here anyways. Let's PID tune the hot end. Okay, I didn't get into here. Bed PID tuning. Oh, this is setting the PID tuning. Okay, we PID tune in a different screen. Hey, Jake from State Farm, how are you, sir? Linear advance. We have a K factor. A lot of these things I'm not 100% sure. We have input shaping, so we can set input shaping parameters here. Now I haven't seen yet if it actually has input shaping built into it. As far as doing the calculator, I have not seen it yet. TMC stealth chop. Again, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. I've got to research it because there's no manual telling me what all these things do. And then driver current. We have our current for our motors we can set in here. Save settings, restore settings, or reset default settings. So we have a lot of again, then we have the terminal here again. There's a lot of things we custom where we can disable steppers, initiate SD card, release SD card, enable leveling state. So there's save to EEPROM. We can save right to the EEPROM from here. We have an RGB. There's no lights, so I think this is a future use. So there are actually no lights that come on when I turn the light on. So yeah. Any plans to try a switch wire? Possibly. If somebody sends me a switch wire, I will. If I get a switch wire kit, but no plans in the making right yet. Then we have our EEPROM where we can save, restore, reset our EEPROM. I wanted to do the PID, so I believe that was back under menu, settings. Well, maybe it was under machine. Well, there's our info. So we are running Marlin software. We're running Marlin 2.1.2.1. December 8th, 2023 is the last version on it. It's called the Xeon S1. And then we have our firmware. And we have our flash, which is 96.78% used, et cetera, et cetera. Features, emulated M600. We can turn our features on and off. Emulate M109, M190, emulate LED. Auto load leveling, which that should, I'm going to turn that on. Probing for Z offset, which, see, that's another issue we got to talk about is a Z offset. Z steppers auto alignment. I'm going to turn these on. Power loss recovery is on. Home after power loss. BTT, UPS support. Start G-code before print, end G-code after print, et cetera, et cetera. Cancel G-code, restore default settings. So there's a lot of things that can be done on here. I believe it was under tuning where I was looking before. PID tuning right here. Here's where we go. So now I can go ahead and say PID tune the nozzle, and we'll PID tune that up to, we'll go up to 220. Let's do that while we're here. Will that go if I just hold it? No, it just goes up in increments of 10, 20, and then we go start. Auto tune may take some time to complete. Continue. Yes, so we'll just complete it. Busy processing. Okay, so it's going to do a PID tune on the nozzle right now. So we can lift this up like so. And here, I will Just switch back over to the other camera for now. There we are. So we'll let this thing kind of go ahead and do the PID tuning. I haven't done that yet, so I should have done that before I done the test prints. Maker Mind Nexus, how are you? And Death Cube, how are you? And Jerry, hey Jerry. A lot of people popping in. I appreciate that, guys, considering I didn't schedule this stream. This printer is called the Windstorm S1. You won't find it on the internet. You won't find it. You'd be hard-pressed to find it anywhere. It's a prototype. I have shot a bunch of video footage for it, and I'm going to be editing that video this week, and we're going to be putting a video out within the next week of all the features and everything on this, what it is, why I have it, et cetera, et cetera. So, but as you see it, no wires. The only wire coming out of this printer is the power cable. There's no bed wire. There's nothing. Complete linear rails. It's completely enclosed aluminum case. Aluminum casing. It's solid. It's a heavy, solid printer. Top-mounted, swiveling spool holder, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. So right now we're doing a PID tuning. Is the hot end actually heating up? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is heating up. I got a little bit of leftover filament in there from last time I printed something. There we go. Actually, I think I will, I think I'll try a different color this time. Love to clipper that thing and use a different screen on it. Yeah. Well, I mean, that could be something to attempt down the road, is to see if this thing is clipperable. This, I believe, based on what I've seen so far, and you'll see in the video when you see the insides of this, it's not the easiest printer to access the underneath with. So, Tim got burned. We have a quality stream now. It was just a little, oh, that's hot. It was just a little bit, oh, that's a little hotter than I thought it was going to be. But that's the only way to test to see if your nozzle's heating up, right? Just touch it. Okay, let's try. Actually, let's throw some for tonight's example. I've done some Polymaker tests on it. Let's throw some Prusament. Let's throw some Prusament Galaxy Purple on here. It's a nice filament. And I haven't used Prusament in a while. And I just lost the end. Don't let the end go. It's not the way you're supposed to do this. There we go. So this will take wider spools, narrower spools as well. Nice little simple spool holder here. Okay, what did we get here? Process completed. Save printer settings to EEPROM. So basically, it's telling me now that the PID tuning for the hot end's done. So we'll save settings to the EEPROM, and it updated the EEPROM. Now we'll switch over to the bed, and we'll set the bed. We'll set that to 60, and we will start the PID tuning for the bed at 60. There we go. What am I going to print? I haven't decided yet. All I have is, and I am awkward with this, on the card that came with it, which is on a USB drive. And if you notice on this, there's a lot of options. We have USB, we have micro SD, we have USB-C, and on the back of the printer, we have a USB-A port. So there's a lot of options as far as connectivity. And here we have a reset button for the screen. So on the card came, of course, a Benchy and a cube with their logo on it, and something called a filament guide, which I have no idea what it is, but I just printed it. And then they've given me 3 profiles for Cura. So I've loaded Cura, excuse me, and I used a Ender 3 type profile for Cura, and I've loaded those 3 presets. Because there's no real, this printer is not listed in Cura, for instance, right? So I'm very, very, I'd like to say all thumbs, but I'm very awkward using Cura. I don't know Cura, so. Looks very much suspiciously like the TFT that Big Tree Tech sells. There we are. Yeah, I mean, little color display screen. So you never know. Well, while this is doing the PID tune, let me see what I have for models, and I'll show you the speed of this thing. It's a fast printer, but there is one major issue with it, which I will discuss in my video. So I can't see the chat right now for a moment. Excuse me. I don't even know where I put Cura. There it is. When I'm in Cura, it's like looking at another planet. I don't use Cura. Oh, so here, let me switch over to the screen while this is doing it. So here we are in Cura, and the printer's called the Windstorm S1, and there's our profile with it. And then the three profiles that I imported were called where are they? See, Cura. I just don't get Cura. I think it was here. No. Show custom. Yeah, right here. So the three, they were called S1 Fast, S1 Fine, and S1 Storm. I don't know if Storm is faster than Fine, if Fast is faster than Storm, and again, I don't know. Those are the three profiles that were given to me on the SD card. So, just been playing with those things. Hey, MG20TX, good evening, sir. Okay, let's get back to the Cura screen. Let's see let's open project, open file, 3D models. What do I have that I could print here that's not too Voron, I got Voron stuff. Mega King Kong, Atomic Dragon, we don't want to print those. LSPI, let's do this. Let's look at Super Slicer. Oh, no, I want to do that, no. Flexi Factory heat inset. Let's look at what we have in Flexi Factory files. What's a Focobot? Oh, I guess we could print this guy. I guess we could print this little guy. See, I don't even know how to manipulate. I don't even know how to move around in Cura. I'm so like not Cura. And this looks like a cool little model. Let's print this guy. What the heck? Focus. Oh, it's the Focus Flexi guy. I get it. Okay, from Flexi Factory. So let's see. Anybody chatting? Anybody saying anything? Let's just see. There we are. Went out to eat Olive Garden. Really tired right now. Nothing is getting done around here, but wanted to watch my buddy. Jerry, man, if I could hug you right now, I would. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go ahead. Actually, first of all, let me put my USB key in here. Come on. There we are. Okay, let's go ahead and so this is what's on it, right? So we got a Benchy Fast, Benchy 25 minute. We have a filament bracket. I don't know why Orca Slicer's on here. Interesting. I just noticed that Orca Slicer was on here, and I don't recall putting that on there. Then we have the SCO, and that's their little cube, and then we have Cura, and then we have under Cura we have our three profiles. So we're just going to close this. Let's do this with a let's use the S1 Fast profile. I'm not even going to go through all this because I don't use Cura. I'm just going to use their preset profile. That's all I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and slicer. Boom, 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 boom. Slice, 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 slice. And it looks like 1 hour and 47 minutes. Bah, we'll see. Save to disk, save to removable drive, save to removable drive D. And let's just make sure that it did in fact save to that drive. D, and it was called right there. Okay, so it is on the drive. Okay, so let's eject that. And USB is currently in use. Try again, continue, whatever. It's because it's opened by safe to remove hardware now. Fine. I'm removing it anyways. Okay. wrong screen. I think I got to go this way. There we go. Okay, so now if I switch back down, the PID tuning is finished on the bed. As you can kind of see from the image there. Process complete. Save printer settings to EEPROM. We'll save the printer settings to EEPROM. Okay, and we're just going to heat the, we'll go back here. Tune steps. Oh, this is doing extruder tuning. So this is where I can tune my E steps, which I haven't done yet. But we'll worry about that later. So first thing I'm going to do is go back here. Let's go back here, and let's go back here and back to the main screen. We're going to heat our hot end up to 220. Okay, and we'll heat our bed up to 60. Okay, and what I'm going to do while they're warming up is we're going to go into, and again, I'm just getting used to this menu too, so we're going to go into settings, machine. No, it's not where I wanted to go. I want to go into leveling. I think it's under movement, bed level, auto bed leveling, and start. Hi. Yeah, you bringing me food?
I am. I don't want to be in camera.
You don't won't be in here. I'll just take it from here.
Take the plate, just the plate, because underneath it is that. I didn't know if you wanted that, and then I got you one of these.
Thank you very much, my love.
You.
Love you too. So we're starting the leveling process. I guess you can't see it. Let me just go ahead. I just went and got some food, but we're starting the leveling process on the printer right now. You can kind of see it through this way. I just got some dinner brought down to me because this was a hi, Miss DeWitt. Yeah, there we go. I got some butter chicken and rice. Let me put this down here. Meanwhile, I'm going to get this other camera ready to give you guys a better view. Where's my... There it is there. Okay, bear with me 1 second. There, and we're going to zoom out. And... Why, oh why? Why are you doing this to me, camera? There we are. Okay. So there we go. It's finished finished auto leveling. And I say, okay, and it's going to save it to the EEPROM. It saves that mesh to the EEPROM. Now, if I switch over to transition, there we go. So if I switch over to this guy, now we can load some filament. The heads are locked. I'm just going to leave it like that. We're going to grab our purple filament, Galaxy Purple Prusament filament. We just stick it in till it doesn't go anymore. And then we just go on our menu. You just have to trust me what I'm doing here. Again, this is all going to be in the video. And then now here's an interesting thing for you to see. And this is the lost in translation part of it. So if I scroll down and zoom into the menu here, okay, so it's just done the auto bed leveling. I've gone back and now it's saying some heaters are still on. Do you want to stop them? Now you'd think cancel is going to cancel my thing, but this is basically yes and no. So if I hit OK, it's going to turn my heaters off, which I don't want to do. If I hit cancel, all it's going to do is be like, no, leave the heaters on. So I hit cancel. Oops. It's a very responsive screen. I'm just looking at my screen. And now I can go back and over to unload, load, and I can go here and say load my filament. And you'll see what's going to happen once I zoom you out and lift the camera up. It's going to actually start. It started pulling the filament in already. Now I'd like the load feature, and I don't know how to set it right now. I haven't figured it out, to go further, because right now it's stopped. It's going, and now as it lowers, it's finished loading, but it hasn't purged any filament. So all I do is hit load again, and it's going to come up. And this time you'll see it's going to purge some filament. And that's just a software feature where they just have to say, okay, on load command, purge X amount more filament. So here we go, purging out the old filament, which is hot. And then we're purging out until we get into the new filament. So there we go. That's twice I burned myself. So make all the fun you need to. Okay. We have filament loaded. Now we'll zoom down. We'll throw the SD card in, or the USB key. We'll go back. And again, gives me the warning that my heaters are still on. Yes, let's leave them on, so we'll go cancel. Even though we are purging a bit of filament out here. Let me just grab my tweezers and just get this excess filament out of there. There we go. Okay. And go back, and then we're going to use from TFT, and it's going to be, it was called Flexi Focobot. This guy right here, do I want to print? Yes. Then we're going to go, and we're going to home ourselves, and we're going to start printing. Yeah, Dirt, you've got to watch my videos, and I'm going to show you easy or hard access to this thing. So I do have a comment on that in my video. So baby stepping again, we can go baby stepping now, but I think I've got my Z height down to what it needs to be. But we do have on the fly baby stepping on here, which we really shouldn't have to do, but it's available. But once it's done, it's done. But the only time you'd have to change it, I would assume, is if you switch out to a different thickness bed or something, when you have to redo that calibration. So you guys are getting a sneak peek of this, actually, being my subscribers, and then the video will be going out to the general public when I finish editing. Now, that's pretty hard to see. Let me get that light on. Let me clamp a light on so you guys can see this better. There, I think that's a little better. And then I'll get you zoomed in a bit more on the quality once it gets going. But you're going to be interested to see how fast this thing's going to go. Wouldn't be a DeWitt through live stream without a little cooking. You're right, Andrew. So you guys are getting the first look at this. It's a little loud. Well, it's louder than other printers I've seen. So here, let me zoom in a bit here. We don't really need to see that screen much anymore. Although I will show you here that we can, on the fly. Let me go back down here while this is going. We can actually, on the fly, we can tap on and adjust any of these features up above. So, for instance, we can go here. We can adjust the speed, and we can adjust the flow on the fly. Okay, so there's some good adjustments we can do on here. If I want to adjust the temperature, which I'm going to go up 5 degrees because we're going to go fast here in a minute. The bed, I can adjust the bed temperature on the fly. This tells me I'm 0.2 millimeters layers, layer 1 of 135, or this just tells me the 0.2 millimeter layer height, or it'll tell me I'm on layer 1 of 135. It's pretty intuitive that way with the information. This tells me how long I've been going. It tells me how long it's going to take for the print to finish. If I tap on it, it tells me 3% is done, and that's how long it's been taking. I tap on it again. Go back to that one screen. Excuse me. So pretty intuitive, the information and the adjustments you can make on this thing. The more button, it just brings you back into the other features. Percentage, there's our flow rate, our speed again. That's just a different way to access all those other features. So we'll zoom you up again here. Let's lift you up. There we go. Hey, Chris Travis. This is an unheard of, never heard of before printer called the Windstorm S1. You can Google it all you want. I'll be impressed if somebody finds something on it. This is a prototype, Chris. A prototype printer. So it's not perfect. Prototypes are never perfect. So we've been asked to prototype this, to work with it. And I said, yeah, absolutely. X1 with new firmware. They did the new firmware on the P1s and the X1s. And somehow have silenced them a little bit. But you know, they did do a firmware upgrade for the P1s that broke some stuff. And then the next day, immediately, they had a .1 update for that firmware, which fixed some of the broken stuff. So, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. You don't want to see me. You want to see this. There we go. So this is going to, after this first layer is done, it's going to pick up in speed. And I'll tell you my opinion on this, and it'll be on my video too. But I got a lot of testing to do on this thing yet. One of the first things that confused me was, and I think Jerry initially answered it, it does have auto power switching. So it detects what voltage is coming into it. It is Marlin. It is running Marlin. And here we go. We're going to get a little quicker here. Although I'm not sure which speed I set it at. Because it wasn't really, I didn't look at the speed in Cura. But I'll shut up for a minute, see if you can actually hear this running. I'll move my mic closer. Hang on. I mean, it's not obnoxiously loud, but wait till the fans kick in. You're going to hear when the fans kick in, they're not the quietest fans in the world. Can I connect it to a PC? I haven't tried yet. I haven't tried connecting it to a PC yet. I've been working on doing a whole bunch of other stuff on it. But I will be eventually trying that, yes. Because it does have a USB-A port on the back of it. Oh, that was good. I just finished my food. Except I got a couple pieces of garlic bread to eat. So I'll zoom out a bit here, so you can get an idea what this thing looks like running. There we go. Interesting bed design, sunken bed. Dual linear rails inside. No bed wires. No bed wires at all coming off the bed. It's heated by magic. And of course, Cura. Obviously in Cura, it's enabled a multi-level skirt. There we go. Tip the chef, absolutely. Whoops. Those of you with the bamboo, Jerry, I'm going to open this for you. This is their gold textured PEI plate. No adhesion assistance. I am extremely impressed with that new bamboo plate. Everything sticks to it, sticks to it very well. So I don't know what they've done, but man, they've come out with a good plate. Okay, Northern Customs 3D and Design. Happy to see you too. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that, and enjoy your shepherd's pie. Yum, yum. My microphone might die before this stream is over. And if that's the case, oh, it might be okay. I got quarter battery life left on it. Let's have a zoom in and look at this. So far, it's looking pretty good. This is not the fastest speed. So obviously the profile I selected in Cura was one of the slowed down ones. Because one of the most how do I want to word this? One of the things I'm going to be suggesting that they change big time. I'm not impressed with the cooling, with the part cooling on this. I'm impressed with the speed, but when the cooling cannot keep up with the speed, that's a big issue. It's good looking print so far. Ah, okay, Jerry. Interesting to see how that one works for you, how well it works. Yeah, this one, this is my fourth one from Bamboo. I really, really like how this plate works. For instance, the print you're watching right now is a flexible, removable build plate, but I had to put adhesion assistance. I put some 3D lac on it. Because even after washing it with the first print, it came off the bed. So again, different companies have their different methods and different techniques for building their beds and making their beds. But that's the Bamboo one, as you can see. Their textured PEI plate, the gold one, it is perfect right out of the box without even cleaning it. Prints would stick to that thing like glue. It's awesome. So that's my newest. That's going to be the newest one from BEM for my modified P1S here. So off with that plate and on with this plate. James L., thank you so much. I appreciate that for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Super chat.
That's very nice of you. It's 2024. It is. I had a slow start this year, but I'm coming back with a vengeance. Just before the holidays, I hit 2,000 subs, which was exciting. I think I'm up to 2014 or something right now, or 2012, something like that. Won't be long. I'll be caught up with the year 2024. Put a few videos out. Just so you know, there's the bottom layer on this bed. When the bottom layer prints, this is one of the prints I did. There's a reason for it looking so crappy on the sides and everything right now. Okay. And then there's another one of the prints that went on. So there's the bottom layer. I don't know what this is. It was on the card. And then there's the top of the print. So it's not a bad looking print for a prototype type printer. And then you'll see what I mean by these are some Flexi Factory Dolphins. And we do have a few issues here, but mind you, I hadn't done any PIDing. And you'll see up here, there's a little cooling issue going on. Yeah. And when you watch my video and see how the cooling on this thing works, you'll see why. So it looks like a what's it. And then this one, the top was even worse. But, oh, you know, I mean, the print is acceptable other than a few. Again, all those little issues you see there, which I know you can all see, it's cooling. It's all to do with cooling. Because flow and everything is fine. That came off the bed just like that, loose. I didn't have to bend it, so there was no over extrusion on it, no under extrusion, but just all about the cooling. And yeah. So I got a few new. Oh, who wants to see the Christmas goodies I got for the studio? Huh? Anybody want to see? Well, too bad. You're going to see it anyways. We got some goodies. Got a few goodies. Okay. Which camera do I want to show it on? Here. You keep watching that. I'm going to flip this camera down. Show. I'm going to show. Let me just take advantage of my studio mode and get my bench camera going here. Come on, focus. Oh, is that focused? Sometimes it's nice having multiple cameras, but other times it can be like, oh my goodness. So if I go like that, there we go. So here, I'll show you what we got. We got a really cool, look at this. Look at this little mini bit set. Like there are more bits than bytes on here. Here, actually, let me switch back over to this one. Oh, come on. Like, look at that. Look at all the bits. Every bit you could actually think of is there. And then we have our really cool handle for it. So another mini bit set. Now this was gotten out of the fact that on my other little kit, I lost the handle. And about a week after this set was delivered, or I got this, guess what? I found the handle. So I've got a spare bit set right now. Okay, and now for the next toy, dun, da, 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 this guy, Lexivon. It is a multi-purpose butane soldering iron multi-purpose toolkit. made in the USA, 2-year warranty. Okay, it's really cool. So basically what it is this little guy here, little handle torch, butane. And if we go back over here, so there it is there. You fill it in the end here. And then we have, so just for its most basic use, we of course have a flame that we can use for, doing getting all the hairs off the prints and stuff. But then we also have a number of tips. There's a soldering tip in here. There's a heat shrink curvature tip here for heat shrink. There's cutting tips for cutting, and all sorts of different tips. There's a variety of tips in here. And then of course we have, that's I think a protective cover, and then we have a little bit of solder and a couple of wrenches for putting the tips on and off. And of course for the soldering we have a little sponge container here. So that's pretty cool. That was a pretty cool little gift. And the set is called, just so you need, if you want to see it, that's what the set is called right there. Multi-purpose soldering head. It even has a serial number on it. Look at that. So I am going to be doing a video, hopefully in the first quarter of the year. I'm going to be doing a video of all the different tools and toys and stuff that I use in the studio. So, and then I will have links to everything as well, because I think it's really cool. I get a lot of ideas from other makers as far as, cool tools to get and different things. So yeah, I think that's a really cool thing to share, and I don't think you can ever share it too much, because people always want to know what kind of tools you have and what kind of tools you use. So I got another one here too. Let me put my instructions away for this one. And then the other cool little tool, because when working on the Vorons and working on those little JSTs and DHLs and UPSs and all those little clips, there's this little guy, and this is a wire stripper from Molex, which is specifically designed for stripping small wires. So it's kind of interesting the way it works. Now, see, look at that. That just stopped dead center. Why? Something in the G code. Let's anyways, while that's thinking, anyways, that's a wire stripper for 26 to 36 AWG wires. So that's another little addition. Okay, so the printer just decided to stop for no reason whatsoever. Keep in mind, this is a prototype printer, so it's not that it's a bad printer. It's just that it's buggy. It's like anything prototype, it could be buggy. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, see if I can pause the print and start it again. No. So we will stop the print, okay, officially, and then we will go back and we will raise the bed to get it up out of the way and have a look at what went on and why. So don't know why it stopped, but it was printing good. You can kind of see it was, the print was looking fine. If I peel it off the bed, first layer and everything was fine. But for some reason it stopped. So what I'll do then is, now it could be the way I've created the profile in Cura, because I know nothing about Cura. So we're going to work on that. So we'll put the bed back on. Oh, a little bit of oozing nozzle. It does have, this bed does have notches on the top that match with notches on the back for lining the bed up, which is nice. So it's real easy to line that bed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the, I just want to show you the speed of this thing, how ludicrous it is. So if we go back on the USB key, And we're going to print what they call 3D Benchy. And we're going to go OK. So the bed's got to heat up a little bit now. And we'll just see what this does. Okay. Could be a bad SD, could be a bad card, true. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure that this thing is not the highest quality in the world. I had to replace the SD card in my Bamboo P1P down at my office because it was bad. It was stopping the print. Just like this, it was stopping the print partway through. Put in a new 8 gig SD card and it worked, and Bob was my uncle. It worked really well. So, but here we go. Watch this Benchy print. We're going to print a Benchy. I know, Benchies are boring, but it's what was on the card. And the orientation of printed is really weird, too. But it's the speed. I'm not a fan of speed without quality. Oh, there goes the fan. Here, you can hear that fan now kicking in. Yeah. Let's see if this speeds up. Maybe I picked the slow one. Oh, this is the 25-minute Benchy. Are you running a clock? No, should I run a clock? Am I running a clock? No, I can see the time on the screen. Oh, it says it's a 26-minute Benchy. The other one's faster. There's a faster one on the card. But okay, and get this. I've got to change this. The bottom of this is going to look crap, but I want to show you this. Look at the oh, hang on. Look at the temperature it's running at. You can't run PLA this speed at 180. So I cranked that up to 220. That's just what was on the card. So I'm going to crank the temperature of the hot end up to 220, especially when you're running fast, 27-minute Benchy. You're going to have a few quality issues. So especially since this filament runs good at 210, etc. So hey, Jack. Is that light on here? Yeah, okay, here. There we go. Ah, there goes my light again. I gotta stop dropping stuff, especially my expensive toys. Stop dropping your toys. Dang, I gotta get a better clamping system for this thing. Oh, ga. Okay, let's see if I can get this do what I want it to do now. There's what I'm looking at. Now let's switch this over. Let me focus. You'll be able to see there where I changed the temperature. So you see that little, you can see the difference definitely there where I changed the temperature. You haven't heard from me in a bit. No, I've been fighting bronchial pneumonia over the holidays. I was on a strong course of antibiotics for a while, and I've still got a bit of the cough. So, but I'm feeling 80% better. I was breathing liquid. Like I could hear when I would breathe, I would be very, very phlegmy. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I'm still coughing a fair bit. So my doctor says it's going to take at least 4 weeks for me to get back on top of things. So yeah, that purple, that little issue you see. So the very bottom layer, it ran at 220. Then it cooled itself down to 180 for some reason, which is why you see that lighter purple area there. And then I cranked it back up to 220. So that might be making that's a lot of movement on there. That's hard to watch. So let me switch back over to this view, which is a little easier to watch. China is tore down with pneumonia. Wow. Yeah, pneumonia is not fun. Can I get this? So this is good. I can use some of this video footage. It's not bad looking on the sides. That nozzle looks out of focus. But you will notice there, so this thing you're seeing kind of right here, that is the probe, or an inductive probe of some sort that it's using for its leveling. And then you will notice that you can see that nozzle pretty clearly, right? And who can guess what's kind of missing from this picture? What would you normally see instead of seeing the nozzle from this angle, right? Like that's one of the big problems that I see with this. Cooling fan, exactly, Death Cube. There is a cooling fan on it, but the way it's been done has just been, it's weird, and I think it's an issue. So, I mean, yeah, nice. Design the hot end. It's very compact, direct drive, all metal hot end, direct drive. It's really well designed, etc. But yeah, don't try and cut corners with the cooling, especially if you're putting out a printer that's claiming to be extremely fast. Whoops. Where is the cooling fan? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Let's see if I can get a view of the cooling fan. Let's see if I can actually find a view of the cooling fan for you. Let's see what I can figure out. Let's see what I can do here. So, believe it or not, there's the cooling fan. Right there. Oh, here, right in here. That's the cooling fan right there. Those are the screws that are holding the fan in. And basically what it is a fan that is just inserted at an angle, blowing down on the entire hot end. There's no real focus on the cooling fan. It's like they've taken the fan and said, okay, let's just kind of make it so that it blows down over the whole over the whole hot end, and that'll sort of take care of cooling everything. You can't really do that. You can't really do that. So that's going to be definitely, again, you guys got to all keep in mind this is a prototype. Okay, it's a prototype printer. It's not going to be perfect, and the reason you do prototypes is to get feedback and you know, get feedback and improvement suggestions, et cetera, et cetera. So the brand of this, again, I've got a video coming out for it. It's called a Skiowen. I can't even say it. It's called Skiowen Windstorm 1. Windstorm S1. Never heard of it, right? Right, I know. Small axials kind of suck. No, why? And we're just switching all around the views here because we're going to use some of this footage in the final video. So, of course, my audio won't be in it as prevalent as my audio is right now. That's a bit bright. Let's turn that light down. And let's change the color of light. It's a bit better. This is a Galaxy filament, so you're seeing the sparkles in it. Spruce a Galaxy purple. Galaxy purple is what I said, I think, yeah. Galaxy purple. Yeah, different cameras make it look different colors. Look at that. The print does look pretty good. I'm impressed. When this one's done, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to throw I'm going to run the one that they say fast, and you'll see a huge difference in speed and a major difference in quality. But where this one will fail, or where this one will not look so good, is on the smokestack because of that cooling issue. Oh, and I'm making myself another fun little thing. There's sort of a start of what I'm making myself. Start button. Woo! Because if I can't get one from YouTube, I'm going to make one. They don't give them out till 100,000. And yeah, that'll never happen. 3D experiment. Hello. Switch back. Let me put the microphone down, see if you can hear there's one fan in here particularly. Quite loud. I don't know if my mic is picking it up or not. So, but I think it's because it's a small fan spinning very fast. It's a prototype printer, 3D Experiments. Yeah, Death Cube. That's I have no idea what the price is coming in at this, but based on what I've seen and by looking at this printer and how not, I don't want to say not easily accessible, but how little service friendly it is, I guess, if you want to say that. I think it's going to be aimed towards the plug and play market because number one, and when you watch my video, you see you can't get underneath very easy. It's got automatic power detecting, so that's fine. So you can't get underneath super easy. Everything is kind of enclosed, which is nice. There's no wires showing other than the power cord. There's no wires to be seen. Everything is inside. The only real hardware you see is you'll see a stepper motor right back here. You'll see your X stepper motor. Okay. You'll see up here. You'll see your your Z stepper motor will be up here. If I raise the camera a bit, I'll show you where the Z stepper motor is, and it's a dual Z drive. There we go. So there's your Z stepper right here, which is, it's got a really interesting belt configuration that you'll see in my video, but that's running dual Z rods and threaded rods in there. So it's really solid. The way this is all sort of put together. This is all cast aluminum. There's the only plastic parts I found on it are these corners, injection molded plastic, but otherwise it's all aluminum, cast aluminum pieces. So it's solid, it's sturdy. It took 2 bolts to put the printer together. That's it, period. 2 bolts, no wiring, nothing, nada. So, okay, Chris Travis, talk to you later. And here we are coming up to the bridging, and everything is going to be interesting to see with the cooling the way it is. A little bit of wisping happening, but that could be my filament's been on the shelf open forever. Filament could be a little wet, but it's not bad. But overall, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, as I say, I keep going back to the fact it's a prototype printer, so it's not perfect. And it's pretty good for being not perfect. I haven't done a flow calibration on it. I haven't done a E-step calibration on it. This is just strictly printing. The only thing I've done is done the PID tuning for the bed and for the nozzle. It has all that built into it. An appliance motif. That's true, 3D Experiments, exactly. The recessed Y rails are a nice touch, yes. We switch back, yeah. I mean, everything, the whole gantry is hidden in this nice aluminum casing. Looks really good. In the display, there's a setting for LED. So I think there's going to be future enhancements where there's going to be some LEDs available somewhere on here to shine, because there is LED settings in the display, but they're obviously not working or not activated yet. So. And as I say, the only other, oh, this light's off for some reason. Oh, I think I banged this light one too many times. I'm going to have to fix it. Yeah. Oh, I just had to turn down to nothing, that's all. So I'll show you from behind here. Let me give you an image of behind the printer. Let me just zoom out here, and I'll switch this camera in a second here. I'll show you this thing from behind. You want to see me from behind, guys? Hang on. Now I got to focus this. Okay, so if I show you the rear view, we're not quite focused here. There we go. So there's your X motor, your stepper motor for X. This guy over here, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, that's just mounting. These are the mounts for mounting the gantry onto the uprights here. And so there's your X motor, your stepper motor for X. So which, yeah, it makes the whole gantry heavy, but it's a solidly built gantry with two very solid Z rods, a threaded rod and a smooth rod in each side. And then as we go up, of course, we see the Z stepper motor right there, and then of course the filament holder. And the filament holder is kind of a swivelly type filament holder. So, yeah. So switch back here. If the Z posts would drop, it would be really wild looking. Ah. If the Z posts would drop, I mean, if these things would just go. Here, let's get this guy back down. We're coming to the home stretch. That light's a bit bright. There, I want to watch it do the smokestack, because the smokestack is where it's not going to look too good. Oh, I see what you mean with no offset X-rail. Yes, that would look great. So we are 22 minutes into it, and it says 2 minutes left. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. It's funny when you reflect, when you look at it without the light, it looks so much cleaner. The light reflects so many different. The light makes it so, I don't know. Light brings out every little flaw in it, every little detailed flaw. There we go. Here's the smokestack. This might not be bad because it's going slow enough. But I won't finish that. Well, maybe we will. We'll run the fast Benchy and we'll see the difference. Yeah, this smokestack's actually turning out pretty good. It's got some Z-hop going on there. Marlin. It is Marlin firmware, yes. And we're almost done getting the wide part of the smokestack. Dun, da, da, da. And right away, I'm going to start the fast one. It's not, yeah, considering there's no direct air, it's not doing too bad at this speed. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I mean, in this, just think, it can only get better from here. And again, the lighting, the harsh lighting is, it looks actually better without the lighting on it. But we'll pull it off and have a look at it when I start the other one up. Okay. And it should be done in about 5 seconds. Yeah, this is going to be a printer. I'm pretty sure they're going to be marketing it to somewhere where you don't want to do many major modifications to it. Okay, so we will pop that off. It's not bad overall. We'll have a look at it in a second, but hey, I'm actually quite impressed with that overall. Okay, but for now we're going to go back and we're going to do the fast Benchy. Benchy fast. Okay, and we'll watch what this one does. Dun, da, da, da. In the meantime, there we go while this is warming up. Again, you can see on the back, issue with the cooling, okay, right away. Some issues with the cooling. A little difference on the bottom. The bottom is where I changed temperatures. It got shiny when I increased the temperature. I guess I could have left it a little lower temperature. But I'm not complaining. It's not bad. I've seen worse. It's not bad at all. And the smokestack actually turned out pretty good. So our overhangs are not bad. So hey, let's watch what it does here. Let's get some of that filament out of there. Okay, now we're in for a quicker Benchy. It's going to move in a minute here after it gets the first layer done. This is claiming to be a 17-minute Benchy. There we go. It's a little quicker running. And the fan's kicking in. And again, it's lowered the temperature to 180. I think 180 is too cool for this speed. Let's go to 210. We'll go up to 210. Another feature is when I increase the temperature, it gives a little audible beep when it reaches its temperature. See if we can hear it. There we go. It's just like beep beep when it hits the temperature. Oh, could be so the part cooling fan can keep up. Yeah. But I just found in my earlier test that it was under extruding a little bit at that temperature when it was going this fast. It's a blinding speed. Oh, did you lose audio? Hello, hello. I don't think you did. Oh, that was your end. Good. Okay. I was like, no, I still got about 10% battery left on my mic. It's hitting something as it's coming around here. It's going so fast, it's hitting something. I don't know if maybe it needs more Z-hop. It looks blue on screen. It's actually purple. It's actually a dark purple. Hard to show that purple color. Hey, Stephen Poole. We'll let this one go and then we'll call it a stream, but this has got, yeah, we got 14 minutes left on it. Just want to see how this goes compared to the slower one. And there will be a much more noticeable difference based on the cooling. They did ship me a little spool of PLA, which I haven't used. A quarter kilogram. I just didn't open it. I just thought, and white's really subjective as far as showing test prints off, right? So we all know that. So on the display, let me zoom down to the display a little bit. When you print off the card, it's interesting. You can see on the display, you have a little image of what's being printed on your baby step button. So you can hit the baby step button for your first layer and do your baby steps. And once you do your baby steps, you can actually save it right to the EEPROM as you're printing. And it'll actually save whatever baby steps you put in there to your EEPROM. Then if we go back, yeah, so it shows a tiny little image of what you're actually printing. What's under the more again? A lot of these things, you don't want over here. What's feature? Let's see what feature is. I don't think that's working. Yeah, it is. Cancel G-code, reset default settings. That's just some other different features that I can go in and set. Yeah. Nothing to do with what's printing right now, though. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I hope so too. It's got a lot of good info on the display, and you can do a lot of stuff on it. I want to check. It had a feature there for input shaping, but I didn't see anywhere to actually input shape. I didn't notice. I don't know if there's an ADXL built into the hot end or not. Let me see if I can go through. No, I can't look through anything right yet as it's printing, but when it's done later on, I will look through and see if see if I can see anything to do with baby stepping, or with, I'm sorry, input shaping. I would think most printers these days should come with input shaping built in. This one's not doing too bad, actually, considering it's going a whole lot faster. It's going to be about 10 minutes faster than the last Benchy. But if my past experience with this speed is right, the smokestack will look terrible. No price, no. Hey, Matt German. Okay, 3D Experiments. Talk to you soon. Thank you for being here. Yeah, no, Jack. There's no instruction manual, no prices, nothing yet. This is a prototype. I have this strictly for giving feedback to the company and for showing and basically showing what's coming, what this company is doing. But I've been provided with no pricing information because this is not necessarily going to be the final printer, right? So this is just something to it's a test model, but I was told it's okay to show it off, to do a video on it, and you guys are getting a sneak peek before I release the video. Yeah, a prototype. Yep, exactly. It's well built. I do have some criticisms with it. I have a few criticisms, but that's what prototyping is all about. And again, you can kind of see that little line on the bottom there, and that's where the temperature dropped from 220 to 180. And then I cranked the temperature back up to 210. And this is a pre-sliced file that was on the USB stick. It is pretty slick, isn't it? What impressed me the most was the thing that impresses me the most of this on this one is the lack of wires. You got no bed wires to wear out. And you're thinking, how's the bed heated? Well, you'll see that in my video. But there's no bed wires to wear out. No wires to speak of except for your power cable, which is, you can kind of see just sticking out there in the back. That's the power cable coming out the back. You have auto filament loading, or auto filament assisted loading, I suppose, if you want to call it. And then you have filament unloading. You can do E-step calibration in it. You can do PID tuning in it. Auto bed leveling, etc., etc. The one thing I found is when you're peeling filament, if it's a failed print or whatever, and you're peeling filament off the bed, try not to drop filament down this hole. It's not easy to get at. The bottom of this printer does not simply pop off. So I'm going to suggest that they put some sort of a, like when you have the little brushes that go on either side so the thing rides down the middle, to make it a little more difficult to drop anything down that slot, because once you drop it down there, it's not going to be easy to get out. Yeah, this Benchy is going pretty good. Actually, I'm actually impressed with how good this one looks. I wonder, because I did one earlier with some different filament, and it turned out crappy, and I'm wondering if maybe I have an issue with the other filament. Well, we'll see. Here, I'll show you. This is what the other one looked like, and you can see that it is just kind of a mess in a few places, right? So could be wet filament as well. But yeah, look at that. That's just awful. That's ugly compared to what I'm seeing being put out here right now. Not that I like to blame filament, but that's a whole lot cleaner looking right there. Yeah, cooling. Oh yeah, this is all cooling. The issues on this for sure. Especially when you see in the window there like that, the crap like that. That's definitely cooling. So bottom looks good. But look at that. Look at the bow or the little upslope there. And on the back is just brutal. Yeah. And you really see the cooling on these Dolphins. Like, you really, really see the issues with the cooling on these. So, when I printed the first Benchy, did I adjust the temperature? Oh, that's a good question, Stephen. Did I remember to adjust the temperature, or did that print at 180? I was dealing with a lot at that time, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe that was printing at a lower temperature, which could do it as well. That's a good question, Stephen. I bet that was. Come to think of it, I think that did print, because I just printed it and walked away. I started it and walked away. Brent Ferguson, good evening from Chile, Texas. Oh, Chile, Texas. We are minus 16 tonight. We're going into a cold spell. Dolphin fin sounds redundant. Dolphin fin. Welcome, Brent Ferguson. Well, now, what do you consider chilly, though? That's interesting. We are minus 14 Celsius today, and we're about minus 16 Celsius now, and we're going down this week to minus 23 Celsius. So right now we're minus 16. Here, look at that. And then look at our forecast. Look at those highs on the right and the lows, overnight lows. That's what we got coming up this week. Yeah. It's going to be cold. Minus 16 is warm. Michael, it's all relative, isn't it? It's all depending on your perspective. You'll be in Calgary on Thursday, Stephen. Wear your warm gloves and toque, or mitts, or hat. Okay, we're getting up to the smokestack. Let's see what this is going to do. Whoops. Don't lose focus. Yeah, you can kind of see on the, if it'll stay still, the overhangs are pretty ugly near the top. And again, that's cooling. Definitely a result of the cooling. And this is 15 minutes, we're 16 minutes in right now. And here we go, smokestack coming. Holy crap, Brent, wow. Well, this isn't going so bad. I think, yeah, I definitely must have had the temperature down on the other one. This isn't bad at all. Okay, we'll just do a comparison once this is done of that one and the one that was done slower. And there's definitely some differences you can see already. There we go. Okay, so we have the one we just finished versus this one that we ran. Let me turn this light off. We ran a little slower. So if we look, you can definitely see the difference in speed. So this one was run at the higher speed, and definitely an issue with the cooling. As you can see there, the cooling's not keeping up with the speed on the window. Even the smokestack, look at the shape of the smokestack compared to what it should be. And then if we turn them on the sides, big difference. So fast is not necessarily good if you don't have cooling that's going to keep up with it. Okay, and then on the front, again, you got a lot of sagging on this one. Yeah, big difference, right? So yeah. So there we have it. Yeah, so again, we need to suggest some cooling improvements. Oh, look at that. It's still warm and it's still pliable, and I can really distort the smokestack, but I should keep it nice and straight for my video. But you can really see the difference. So I think for a prototype printer, this thing's great, but definitely needs some improvements. Biggest improvement it needs right now that I see is the cooling. So that's going to be a huge factor for it. So no ghosting on either. No, actually, you're right. There is no ghosting on either one. That's not bad. I'm impressed with that. So, and obviously speed is going to affect, the finish of the filament. When we sped it up, we got glossy. Slower is a little matte. But again, once we get the cooling issue fixed on this, if they come out with a better cooling system, it's going to change things overall again anyway. So don't torque the stack. Okay, I'll leave the stack untorqued, Andrew. So anyways, it wasn't meant to be a stream about this printer tonight, but what the heck? I mean, we're here. Why not? While I'm here, I'm just going to quickly unload filament. So if I go ahead and go like this and go menu, filament, and we'll unload the filament. And it's going to heat up and it's actually going to unload. I want to see if it actually purges a bit before it unloads to empty the nozzle. And then we are going to call it quits. So it heats up pretty quick. It's only going to go to 180 to unload, which is fine. And it hit 180, and let's see, is it going to actually... So it's not going to... No, it hit the temperature. I have to hit unload again. So it's going to raise the gantry. And... Okay, it purged a bit, and then it's going to unload. There we go. And... there we go. Good. So it did what it should have done. It purged a little bit, and then it unloaded, and then it's staying cool. So it's not cooling off on its own. I have to hit the cool down button, tell it to cool down, and we're good. Bob's your uncle. There we go, guys. So listen, thank you very much. Keep an eye out. I will be putting a video out on this week. I've got to do a lot of editing with it, and I've got to do my intro and my blah, 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 my final conclusions on it. But I will be doing a lot more testing on this thing as I go on with it, because I've got to actually tear down. I'm going to actually tear it down to the bare bones. I want to see what makes everything tick under the covers as well, even though I don't think this is going to be aimed at an audience that is meant to be tearing that thing apart like that. So I'm going to call this a night, guys. It was an impromptu stream. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I will see you guys next week when we're going to continue on the Trident. Now that we have the beacon probe ready to go on it, we'll continue working on that and get that Trident up and running and get that out of the way so we can move on to other things as we go on. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate everybody watching tonight, and we'll catch you guys next week. Have a safe week. Stay warm wherever you are. If you're in an area that's going to get really cold, if you're traveling to Calgary, good luck. Okay, take care, guys. I'll catch y'all.